What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cleveland Browns. 0-16 rebuild, 16-0 rebuild, whatever you want to call it these days, the series has been completely redefined. Now that we've won a Super Bowl and we are defending our title, imagine that universe. A world where the Cleveland Browns are on top of the NFL and everyone is chasing them. Well, welcome to this universe. Today we go through preseason, go into the regular season, just going to see what happens today. And we're going to move at a fast pace, I think, for the remainder of this series because we've already reached the ultimate goal. If there is a huge game, we're probably going to sit in on it, but we're going to move at a different pace than in the previous seasons in the series. And one thing I wanted to do to start this episode is take your Rookie of the Year a season ago and upgrade him even further. He's a 96, entering the second year of his NFL career. I'm just going to add to some moves here. He becomes a 97. And if he gets that confidence boost again this season, which I'm pretty confident he will, Perry Cummings could very well be a 99 overall. The only one to ever be a part of the team in this series. I do need to sign some younger players now to fill out the roster, and we're going to start with Rodriguez Pede from Western Michigan. Look at the speed, the hit power, the block shed. Please tell me there's some coverage. 72. Sounds like a perfect developmental player. I need a young tight end on the team, and we're going to go with Gordon Walker here, the rookie out of South Carolina State. 14,000 XP for our head coach, Matt Hedrick, who now has 4,100 legacy. We're going to go to player progression here, and I want to go tight end to help out Dontarius Payne. And then, yes, I want to go kicker. It's cheap, so is punter. I need to upgrade our young kickers and punters, because I want to stay with the players that we have. And then for everything else, I can wait on this to see what becomes a pressing issue later in the year. But I have progression now unlocked for Matt Hedrick. Everything is there. He is a maxed out progression coach. And we're going to have an interesting focus player situation this year, I think. But here's a look at the depth chart right now as I have it set. Charles McCarron goes back to center, and he's the lowest overall along the offensive line. I might want to upgrade his awareness. We have Perry Cummings, of course, Jocelyn Fleming, whom we traded for during the draft to be the new number 2 running back replacing Ace Harrison. And defensively, I am definitely starting DeJuan Hall and making him a focus player so we can get the most out of him. He has immense potential with that coverage and his speed with block shedding. He could do it all, and maybe he becomes the inside linebacker when Lawrence Glears is no longer on the team or something. He's 29, not trying to kick him off the team right now, but I know that these players aren't going to be here forever. And then as far as corner goes, we have Griffin Rosfanene, and we're going to have Francis Goodwin play nickel this year. In the meantime, Jamario Mullins will become a focus player, and we'll get him ready to go for later in his career. Here's an interesting one. I'm putting our kicker, Derek Haynes, as a focus player. I just need to get his awareness up a little bit. Let's go, kickers, getting 100 XP bonus here for training. The Browns just keep winning. Remember, we swept the preseason last year as well. We have a nice winning streak going here if you include the poster, the preseason, which I'm not sure why you would, except to benefit my argument here and my point. Anyway, Deshaun Kaiser throws an interception against us. He's had a very long career. Anton Greenberry didn't do a whole lot because it's the first preseason game, but Preston Tant sure did. 2 touchdowns and an interception. Overall, looks like a decent day's work for him. Jocelyn Fleming, 3.3 a carry with a score. Receiving, Trevante Sanders and Fleming with 5 grabs for a 78-yard day. Not bad at all. And then defensively, we have a sack. Gregory Anthony, who's going to play some defensive end this year after playing outside linebacker a year ago. And then for tackles, it's him, DeJuan Hall, and 1 interception for Malik Richardson. Oh, and I'd like to apologize to our fans for keeping ticket prices maxed up for the preseason. That wasn't what I intended. I lowered them all by 1 spot just to see what happens in the next game. I want to see if ticket prices or ticket sales go up. Wow, that's a lot of points. 47-41 with 600 yards of offense. Greenberry throws for 3 touchdowns. Preston Tant for 284. Not bad. How about the running game? Fleming, 54 yards. In the receiving game, Shadon Underwood doesn't care if these games don't count. Steven Contreras, 97 yards and a score. Javonte Mann finds the end zone twice. That is excellent. Defensively, I'm a bit concerned giving up all these yards and points. And we don't have any takeaways there or sacks. Come on, defense. This team just put up 55 points in a preseason game. They scored 5 touchdowns in 1 quarter in a game that doesn't count. Anton Greenberry threw 6 touchdowns in the preseason. Are you kidding me? This team is on another level right now. The Cleveland Browns are now the class of the NFL, and it's amazing. Who caught these passes? Julian Walford 2 touchdowns. Then Javonte Mann, Underwood twice, Sanders, 6 passing and receiving touchdowns. Unbelievable. And then defensively, we get some production. Look at that, 3 sacks total. Tanico, who has quick development. Gregory Anthony, who has, I think, quick development. Sharp and Sevrut. We're sending safety blitzes in the preseason. This team wants to win everything. Walker Sharp, Moses Austin, pick off passes. The streak is over, everybody. All streaks come to an end eventually, and we finally lost a game. The 4th preseason game here against the Indianapolis Colts. Wait, never mind, we won this game, I forgot. Another undefeated preseason, everybody. We've now won 27 games in a row, if you count preseason. Preston Tant, touchdown and a pick. And Graham Hankins, 3 interceptions. He did not like facing our defense today. Jocelyn Fleming scores a touchdown and gets 99 yards. Steven Contreras with 56. Then for the defense, I think we'll have some production here. Gregory Anthony, 6 tackles, 1.5 sacks for Sevrut. And then Anthony, Barnes, and Atkins all get picks. Here are the numbers that don't count. Anton Greenberry, 9 touchdowns. He had to throw 9 touchdowns against players just trying to make rosters. Not fair. Then in the running game, Perry Cummings, 4.5 or 4.4 carry compared to Fleming's 3.6. In the receiving game, a lot of good numbers here. Trevante Sanders, Steven Contreras. I always want to have a deep receiving core, and that's not changing. Although, where are Dontarius Payne's catches? He has 7 for 52. Okay, there he is. On defense, here are the tackle leaders with Gregory Anthony getting some pretty good production here against the backups. 2 sacks, a pick, 16 tackles. A lot of interceptions actually for these exhibition games. And I'm very interested here in the kicking. Okay, Derek Haynes. He made all 17 extra points and missed 1 field goal, which was over 50 yards. So that's a really good preseason for the rookie kicker. Maybe it wasn't a bad selection. How much can I upgrade our kicker, Derek Haynes? He just had a great preseason. I can upgrade his awareness a few times. It'll be a process. When it comes to Derek Haynes, our kicker, we're going to trust the process. And here are the final moves I have made with adding players to practice squad and then cutting some players where we just had too much depth, like along the offensive line. Cut some players who are a little bit older and won't develop much more. And we had 2 punters and 2 kickers, so I ended up cutting them. I'll go through a couple of these practice squad players, though. There were some pretty fun players here. We have Tyrone McGahee from Auburn, who is a strong nose tackle, 6'6", 332. I want to have some depth here to develop, and while block, shed, and power moves are both kind of low, at least they have a good starting point. And if we work on block shedding, maybe he becomes an active roster player. I added a fullback, by the way, who's only 21, Ellis Whitworth from Temple, who has 78 speed, 80 trucking, and 71 run blocks. So maybe after a year or so, he's ready to take over for Tank Barksdale. Then we have Cedric Gaudin here from Texas Tech. I like the speed, and block shed is decent enough right now. Could still use a little work, but when you consider that tackling is already pretty good, you just have to work on like intangibles and block shed at this point. Alright, it's time for these games to start counting now that we've made it to the 2028 regular season. The Browns have not lost a game in well over a year, and it's time to see if we keep that streak going. So today we start this journey against the New York Jets. We hang the banner in victorious fashion. 34-24, we defeat the New York Jets with a 451-yard offensive day and 4 touchdowns from future Hall of Famer Anton Greenberry. I assume so anyway. Perry Cummings, 76 yards. Jocelyn Fleming, 57. I like that production there. How about the receiving game? Oh! All right then. I feel so justified in letting him be the starting tight end now. This is incredible. So, the star of the day. Just checking out anything else down here. But, okay, Stith even had a touchdown. We had Dontarius Payne go for 8, 110, and 2. That's what I'm talking about. How about the defense then? Get some sacks at least? Absolutely not. And 1 interception for Ross Fanene. How about the kicking game here? I'm going to watch our rookie. 2 for 2 on kicks, 4 for 4 on extra points. Excellent. This team is not tired of winning. The Baltimore Ravens scored the first 7 and we scored the next 38. Oh, wait a minute. That reminds me of something. I don't want to talk about it. The Browns get 455 yards of offense. Anton Greenberry 4 touchdowns, and Brock Wall held to 73 passing yards. 7-3. Perry Cummings, 103 on the ground. Jocelyn Fleming finds the end zone. Julian Wall also does get a touchdown, and Dontarius Payne scores again. I'm going to have a chance to upgrade him if this keeps up. Steven Contreras, like our depth players are getting touchdowns here early in the season. How about our defense? Dante Morris gets a sack. For interceptions, we go Morris Griffin. And then our kicking game, our young kicker, Derek Haynes, perfect. And another year of scouting is underway. And I'll just start here by scouting some early picks, some first rounders. Wyatt Burbank here from Nebraska seems like a really good prospect, especially for the middle of the round, which I'm hoping we're not picking anywhere close to. And then, ooh, good cover corner here. DeMarcus Redmond from Michigan State. Torian Price, A- press for a late first round prospect who has 6'1" size. That's incredible. All right, I'm finding some really good players. How about a 4'3" base end at 285 pounds with B+ block shed? We did suffer an injury this week, and it was Moses Austin, so that's going to put a young safety into the mix. And I might want to go with our rookie here. This might be a good time to get him some XP. Ronell Bedell here, who has the same overall as Richardson. 89 speed, 81 zone compared to 87 speed, 78 zone. Let's make that swap. We win again, 38-30. It was a close game. Anton Greenberry, 2 touchdowns. Didn't put up 6 like in the preseason, but it's all right. Perry Cummings, 62 yards, and Fleming again finds the end zone. How about receiving? It's Underwood's turn to lead the way with 132 and a score. And Dontarius Payne scores again. 10 tackles for Lawrence Glears, and then we sacked the quarterback a couple times with Morris Sevrud and DeJuan Hull. I nailed the kicker pick though. Derek Haynes, still 100% success. We're going to give the XP to Ronell Bedell here. Easy choice. I'm not going to rush back Moses Austin. Oh my. The streak. It's come to an end. The Cleveland Browns no longer invincible as Brock Wall and the Baltimore Ravens try to reignite the rivalry. 2 touchdowns for Wall after being held to 73 yards back in week 1 or week 2. Anton Greenberry, more interceptions than touchdowns. That hasn't happened in a very long time, I feel. Okay, so Cleveland loses their first game in well over a year. Perry Cummings finds the end zone. We have Shaydon Underwood for 134 and a score. Dontarius Payne doesn't score. Maybe that's why we lost. And defensively, tough day here as we could not stop Brock Wall today. No interceptions and no sacks. We do get back in the win column though, but we're not going to have a repeat of the perfect Cleveland Browns season. Anton Greenberry, 2 touchdowns and an interception this week. Perry Cummings gets 92 yards on the ground. Underwood again scores twice. He is having another big start to this season. Donterius Payne, 21 yards. I like to see more sacks here from our pass rushers. That's still really confusing to me. Walker Sharp does get an interception. So at this point, our Browns are 4-1 on the season. The Steelers are 3-2, and we play them here in a couple games. So let's see if we can do any more upgrading to this team and see where some of our young players are. Dante Morris. I need to see some more double-digit sack seasons in this series. I'm working on it, as you can tell. Dante Morris, 88 overall. And he's going to stay there as we upgrade more ratings. Let's upgrade our youngest starter, I believe, DeJuan Hull here, the linebacker. Just going to focus on those intangibles right now. Maybe one in tackling, try to get that closer to 80. But he is already a 78 overall. I want to get Perry Cummings to 99 overall so bad. I don't think we're that far away either. I just upgraded his awareness even more. How about Donterius Payne? He's done a really good job so far. You have to be impressed. But he is 26 and it's a little bit tougher to develop his skills. I also need to work on these young defensive tackles as I traded away Arion Wimper in the hopes that we could develop two younger players to be better. And Stewart is a higher overall. And I think Samuel Franklin is not far behind. And we're going to upgrade his awareness here. He's an 81 now. How about our kicker here, Derek Haynes, who has been perfect to start this season. Now 55 awareness. We're going to get to a good spot. It's just going to take some time. Trust the process, everybody. Alright, we're going to end the episode right there, and next time we might go through the rest of the regular season, maybe the entirety of the year until the playoffs. We have Anton Greenberry, 13 touchdowns and 3 interceptions so far. Perry Cummings, only 1 touchdown, which is surprising for a player of his caliber. In the receiving game, Underwood has 5 and Payne has 4. On defense, still not much production here in terms of sacks, and we only have 3 interceptions. But our kicker remains perfect. 22 extra points and 5 field goals. Let's go. One more thing before we end this episode. Let's see who our free agents are going to be after this year is over. We finally have a good amount of funds on this team. I don't expect to give a big contract to Spencer Chase, but I guess I wouldn't say it's a 0% chance. Russell Severud will be very expensive, but has he earned that contract? Bronson Drew shouldn't be a big deal. Francis Goodwin, Walker Sharp might be a moderate contract. But otherwise, there aren't any major deals. So this is going to be a pretty good year for us, having all these funds and not too many players to spend on yet. So that is going to end this episode, everybody. Please smash that like button if you are enjoying the Cleveland Browns rebuild, 0-16 rebuild, turn 16-0. I will see you all in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when videos are posted. I will see you all next time. Have a great day.